Germans can be a little bit like a hard shell. Like an example, like my first friend that I met in uni, we used to always like meet and go to a cafe, but I never went to her house like 1 year after we met.
In
Ooh,
Bremen?
that's a good question. I feel like for me, the first 3 years were a little bit of party disintoxication because I didn't find a good party in here. I feel like the parties were really boring and they play a lot of German music.
Do you speak German
Yeah, I
right now?
speak German. I was in a German school for
Was it easy
10
to
years.
learn?
Almanya'dan hikayeler.
How long have you been living in Germany?
I've been living in Germany for the past 4 years or 4.5
Okay.
years. In October, it will be 5 years.
5 years. So what
Yes.
are you doing here?
I studied my bachelor's in communication sciences, and now I'm studying my master's in arts and film.
Okay, well, that's really interesting. Are you happy here in Germany as foreign?
I would say so. I think that integration, especially in the pandemic, because I came here in the pandemic, it was super, super hard. But as the years have passed, I think I've really found my home here. I found my people, a really cool community of internationals, and also a lot of German people that, especially in Bremen, I think are very, very open to foreigners.
Like when it's come to Germany, people are curious about how easy to make friends here in Germany.
Yeah, I would say it's a little bit hard because for me, from my personal opinion, Germans can be a little bit like a hard shell. Like you really have to like an example, like my first friend that I met in uni, we used to always like meet and go to a cafe, but I never went to her house like 1 year after we met. It was very like, I don't know, like this common education that you have and this barrier that you don't trespass until there's a certain point of comfortableness in the relationship. And I think that can only be achieved with time with German people.
Yeah,
But I think there's really, I mean, the friendships that I've made here have been the most genuine, I would
Oh
say.
yeah, yeah. It takes too much to melt the ice, break the
Yeah,
ice here in
it,
Germany.
it takes a little bit to break the ice, but once you do it, like it can only grow stronger.
Okay. What about the Bremen University?
I really like the Bremen University for, in my opinion, or in my field of studies, that is communication studies and film studies. I think I've really had great teachers, like great professors that have opened my mind to especially critical thinking, and especially in the field of arts and film, a lot of decolonial perspectives or perspectives that are not in the canon of, for example, art. For example, I would say I have a seminar that explores the gender canon in art, like how female artists have been treated differently from history than male artists. And I think that another uni wouldn't have given me this competence as much as Uni Bremen has done that to me.
What about the social life, or is it too expensive to live here at the campus or in Bremen?
I would say in comparison to other German states that I've heard, for example, Munich or Berlin, I feel like Uni Bremen has more like a nicer way to get around talking about money and stuff. I think rent here is a little bit more cheaper than in other states. It's still a lot for me. Like I have the great opportunity that I have been receiving a lot of support from my parents, but I think it's really doable here because a lot of German students also have usually like a second work at a cafe. So I think it's at the end of the day, it's really doable to have a live here life. And uni life, I think there's not enough open spaces at uni where you can chill. I think a lot of people meet outside the library to like smoke a cigarette, and then you meet new people. And I know that how do you say it? Not above. Below the Mensa, the cafeteria, there's a place called Comunitas. There's like a place where people chill, and there's like a kicker where you can play with your friends. There's chairs where you can do uni stuff. Other than that, I don't think there's a lot of spaces in uni. I think I would wish there were more spaces other than library, you know?
You said that you are coming from Chile.
Yes.
So I assume that you are dancing too. I'm personally
Yeah.
dancing salsa and bachata.
Yeah.
So what about the party life in Bremen?
Ooh, that's a good question. I feel like for me, the first 3 years were a little bit of party disintoxication because I didn't find a good party in here. I feel like the parties were really boring and they play a lot of German music. I have a Spotify playlist that is called like German music I don't dislike because I don't really like German music. But I think there's a couple of places like Yaya where you can dance like salsa and bachata, and I really learned to like the techno culture in here. I really didn't hear techno music before coming to Germany that much, and after that I definitely developed a sense of taste for techno and like Latin techno. That's a new wave that I really like. I know a couple of techno clubs that I go regularly.
Are they placed in Bremen or Berlin?
Yeah, in Bremen.
In Bremen.
But also in Berlin. I also went to
Okay.
Berlin.
We are going to Berlin this weekend
Ooh.
and we might join to some techno parties.
Yeah.
So what places shall we
Oh,
visit?
in Berlin, I don't even know. I just go to usually events that my friends invite me to. So I don't even, other than like Kit Kat and like Bernheim, like the usual clubs that they are, I don't even know a couple of places in Berlin. I just know in Bremen, like Spedition, there's like also event Para, Krise, and a lot of stuff that are done in Sportamt are also really cool. But yeah, in Berlin I don't know that much. But have fun.
Yeah, thank you. Are you planning to live in Germany or are you planning to move back to your country
Oh,
in
that's
the
a really
future?
big question for me because I mean I just started my master's, so I still have 2 years that I have, and I want to be here. For me, it's always like a very spontaneous decision. I don't really like to plan myself so much ahead because I want to stay open for opportunities, job opportunities, or another related opportunities. So I don't want to say an answer if it's okay because I don't know
Yeah,
it.
of course.
I mean, you
Yeah.
never know. And I may be in Chile in 2 years. I may be in Italy. I may be in Berlin. Who knows? But it's a thing of time. Yeah.
Okay, but what about your German skills? Do you speak German?
Yeah, I
right
speak
now?
German. I was in a German school for
Was it easy
10
to
years.
learn?
No, because I usually didn't pay attention in German in the school because I was like, for what do I need this language? Is so unusable. They only speak it in 2 or 3 countries. And then when I came here, I realized like, wow, you really never stop learning German. Like I think I learn every other day a new word. And I've been living here for 5 years. I think my German knowledge is pretty stable. But at the same time, I'm like, when I'm at seminars or with friends, they also, the last day I heard a word called Trüffelschwein that means like truffle pig, and that means like a pig that searched for truffles in Germany, and that means like something very special. And I was like, these German people, they make up a word every other day, and honestly, it's kind of nice, but stressing me out a little bit. Yeah.
Thank you so much for
You're
saving your
welcome.
time.
You're welcome.
Almanya'dan hikayeler